It is the rare night when the attention paid to attire warrants as much as any on the court. When every coach welcomes the thought of an arena full of fans joining his team. And here in Spokane, where inspirations come from every corner of the kennel, the story of a single mom and her only son deserves the spotlight reserved for center court.
Let's give a warm welcome to Lynn.
When we got asked to do it, I was like, wow, you know, American Cancer Society has done a lot of wonderful things. Coaches vs. Cancer does a lot for the hospital, the Children's Hospital, and I recognize, you know, all those things that they do when we're up there, and I just think it's a great cause.
Jolynn Chastain is humbled by her connection to Coaches vs. Cancer. It is the courage of her 11-year-old son, Brandon, that has created a bond unlike any with the Bulldogs.
It's a head tumor, takes up about, and originally it took up 75% of his head. Every open airway in his head was full of tumor. They gave him a 45% chance, and he beat it. So we beat it that time. In 2007, he looked at me one day, and his eye was looking at me again like it was the first time. Sure enough, another week went by, and I went, well, I got to call the doctor. And sure enough, it was back. So we did chemo and radiation again, and we got it all, we thought.
But after battling and beating it twice, Brandon's cancer came back.
At that point, Brandon had reached his lifetime dose of a few of the chemotherapies that he needed. He's had his lifetime dose of radiation therapy. So there's not a lot you can do. They originally gave him 2 to 4 months. I didn't think we'd see December the way it was growing, and it hasn't stopped growing. It's hard to fight, and then stop and watch him go the other way and tell him it's okay, you know? I had to have the talk with him, you know, so he knew what was going on, because I felt like I couldn't talk about it around him, or I didn't want to give him any false information. I mean, he knew if we have cancer, we got to go to the hospital, and I got to get a central line put in, and we got to start chemo. I mean, he knew. And that first week, we weren't doing anything, and he knows. So then we had the conversation, and he asked if he was going to die, and I said, well, do you remember talking about heaven? And he's like, is that where Vic is? His great-grandma. They were really close, and I said, yeah. And I said, you're going to get to go there. I said, but you know what the great thing is? I said, your eyes are going to work, your nose is going to work, you're going to be able to taste food, because you can't taste or smell either. I said, you're going to be able to run and play and do whatever you want. And he's like, is there a Zips up there? And I said, yes, I think there's a Zips up there, you know. And he didn't want anybody to touch his Legos. He's going to take his Legos with him, his blanket and some stuffed animals. And I said, you can do that. So he's been okay with it.
It is that spirit that inspired the team to meet the boy whose perspective seems to put everything in place.
They heard about Brandon and decided to come visit him, and heard he was a big Gonzaga fan, and it was a caravan, people coming in the door, and it was just like, oh my gosh, these guys are huge, you know, and Brandon just sat on the couch like nothing. He was watching Star Wars, and Rob Sockery sat down next to him, and they had like a 20-minute conversation about Yoda and their favorite characters, and then Brandon had them all dancing, doing the Dougie in the living room, so it was really neat. He calls them his friends. He wants to see his friends. He told him to come back anytime.
It was an instant connection, the start of an exceptional friendship forged from the beginning.
At the Ronald McDonald game, we got to go in the locker room after the game, and he got to be in the huddle. And they said that, you know, we couldn't have won this game without you, and I think he grew like 2 inches. You know, he just heard it. He couldn't see anything, but he heard it and literally grew. So he was feeling really good. They made him feel really special.
Brandon is he's an amazing kid. To do what he's doing right now and fighting like he is, he has more strength than I do. And you know what, he kind of makes me happy to see how happy he is. Just being around and alive and positive is just an amazing thing.
Brandon draws people in, and it makes my heart smile. They're getting it, you know, they understand what you take for granted, what you don't take for granted, you know, what he goes through. And I think he's teaching them things, you know.
The courage of Brandon Bird Chastain and his mom, Jolynn, provide a resounding reminder how his story and the harsh reality of too many others can capture the heart of college basketball.
I'd love to keep him, but I know I can't. And the fact that he's doing all these things and teaching people things and showing people reality, and it makes me feel good.